A few years ago, I created two $10,000 online courses within 1 year. And it was phenomenal because I've never made that much money in my business ever before. So if you are ready to learn how to create your own 10K course and what you need to do exactly to make that happen, well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to be giving you some strategies on how you can make that work for your business and learn the process that I did to make that work for my business. So stay tuned. Hello, my name is Symone Redmond. I'm a YouTube strategist and I'm a digital course expert. I teach entrepreneurs how to generate more leads and more sales for their online coaching business with their YouTube channel so that they can increase their impact, authority, and their influence. And in this video, we're going to be talking about creating an online course that sells. This is one of the biggest things that a lot of business coaches are struggling with, is creating an online course that is going to sell. I'm going to give you my exact strategy on how I made that happen because I created two online courses that generated $10,000 and above. So one course I created generated over $16,000 within a 4-month time frame. And then the second program that I created generated $10,000 within 4 months as well. So I know you're wondering, well, what are the steps? How did you do this, Symone? Let's talk about it right now. The first thing that I did, I started with an idea and I just decided to see if there was interest in it. Literally, that is it. So over the years, what I had did was back on this YouTube channel, I was just talking about YouTube videos and how to grow your YouTube channel, how to do this, how to do that. And I created a community on Facebook of over 700 people inside of that community. It was a free community. People would come in, they would learn, my tips and strategies about growing a YouTube channel and putting themselves out there, creating more confidence, camera confidence, all that good stuff. And inside of that group for the second program, I said, okay, I have this idea. I was kind of transforming away from YouTube at the time. And I said, I have this idea. I want to know who would actually love to have this type of course that will show them how to grow a business instead of just growing a YouTube channel, how to grow a business. And so I did that. I created that program. I put the idea out there inside of that Facebook group. That Facebook group generated so much interest for this course. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I have a lot of people who are kind of like, I'm a little over YouTube right now. I'm a little over the YouTube teachings. What else can you teach me, Symone? So I said, okay, let's take this idea and we are going to run with it. We're going to create a framework. We're going to create an outline. I'm going to start with the idea. I have this idea. I want to see if there's interest. So I just created like a poll inside of that Facebook group and said, hey, who would love to know, I can't remember the exact question, but who would love to know more about creating an online coaching business and learning how to do webinars and challenges and things like that. And that is how I knew that I had something good on my hands and I was ready to move forward with that. So if you have this idea, do not be afraid to put yourself out there. Do not be afraid to ask your audience. It could be via email. It could be via survey. It could be, inside of your Facebook community if you have one, and just ask them, because if you are ready to take that next step, it is time to take the next step. I was afraid of venturing away from YouTube. I was afraid of saying, oh my gosh, I'm not doing YouTube anymore. This is scary. People aren't going to like it because I'm the YouTube girl. But I had to learn how to get over that and say, okay, I'm trusting myself. I'm trusting this idea that I have and I'm going to run with it. And that's what we did. So once I had this idea, I had to think about what was the end transformation. So the end transformation was you to learn how to create funnels, how to create things for your business so that when you are creating your online course, you know how to sell it correctly and sell it to where people are going to be saying yes to your offer. So you have to think about that transformation, and then you have to think, okay, well, how many steps does it take to get there? Do I have a specialized process for this? So for me, within that program, it was an it was an 8-week coaching program. So when you're creating this program, you want to make sure this is kind of like your beta version. So you don't want it to be too long, but this is like a actual program that you're going to be creating, and it's going to be a live coaching program. So I said, okay, if we could do this for 8 weeks, this is great. Sometimes I've done a course that was 6 weeks. I did the same exact process. But I said, okay, let's do it for 8 weeks and let's just see how it goes. I felt like 8 weeks was enough time, 2 months time. We did a live coaching session every single Monday or Tuesday. And then I had Q&A for them at the end. And then if they wanted extra Q&A, we did that Q&A on Saturday. So think about the transformation. How long is that transformation going to take in order for them to get the result that you are promising? So I had to think about that too. Then I had to think about the pricing. What was the pricing for this program going to be? Well, because it was a beta course, I didn't want to charge way too much. Like my actual price for the program that I was thinking about was about $2,000. And I was like, well, if it's gonna be $2,000 and I'm doing this for the very first time, let's slash the price by 50% and let's offer it for $997. So I did it for $997, and to be honest with you, I've never offered a program for that much ever in my life. But because I said, I'm ready for this new transformation, I'm ready for where this is going to take me, I'm excited, we're gonna set it at $997. And to be honest with y'all, I had students purchase that program at $997. I was really shocked about it, but whatever price you charge is what people are going to say, okay, this is the price. Okay, this is what I need to do to invest into it. And then we'll look into ways of how they can make that work. I was not expecting to have a $2,000 day. That was my very first time having a $2,000 day. And so how it happened was that I was talking to students, and we're going to talk about this in the next step, but I was talking to students, and I had to go on vacation because it was my husband's birthday and we were going out of town. So I said, okay, hey, listen, it's all the way up from here. Now, I cannot stop what happens, but if people sign up, people sign up. If they don't, they don't. And I had to be okay with those results. A lot of people aren't okay with, okay, well, I set it at this price, I expect this many people, and then that number of people don't actually sign up. They get upset. They get, I don't know what it is, but they get upset. So you don't want to get upset when it comes to the pricing of the program. But I had one person pay me full price, was not expecting that at all. I was not even thinking that they were going to sign up. I had one person pay me full price around like 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I had another one pay me full price at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I literally just made $2,000 in a day. So whatever price you decide, that's what you decide. And stick with it, because this is your beta version. This is your very first version, very first testing the waters to see how this goes. And then let's say you want to charge $597, and then once you get your students in, you're like, you know what? The value doesn't match the price. So now I'm going to increase it to $997, or I'm going to increase it to $1297. So whatever price you set, be comfortable with it. And this is one of the things that I have learned from one of my coaches. She told me, if you are going to increase your price, increase it, but never go back down. So start at a price where you are comfortable with, and you're like, you know what, I'm not going any lower than this, and then continue to go up and up and up, however much you decide or however you feel like it. So think about that when it comes to the pricing of your coaching program so that it does sell. So then you have to think about your launch strategy. How are you going to be launching this program? Are you going to be doing automated webinars? Are you going to be doing webinars live? Are you going to be doing 5-day challenges? Are you going to be enrolling people via phone calls? And for me, it was the latter. I did phone calls. I am a phone call queen. I can get people on the phone. I can talk to them, and I could be like, hey, let's, figure out how we can solve this problem together. And I am so good at phone calls. Like, I'm not trying to brag about myself, but I'm very good at phone calls. And so enrollment calls, it took a while for me to really get comfortable with it. And now that I'm comfortable with it, I can do a phone call all freaking day. Okay, so I could do phone calls all day. But this is how I enrolled my students. So when those 2 students who actually paid full price and I had a $2,000 day, I talked to them over the phone. I said, listen, here's my idea. I put it in my group. I reached out to those people who said yes, they were interested, and I messaged them on Facebook, and I let them know inside of the comments of that Facebook group post, hey, check your messages, I sent you something, you know, hey, let's move this into Messenger, I sent you a message. And I chatted with them in Messenger. I gave them my phone call link, like to my calendar, so that they can get on my calendar, we can talk. And this is how I enrolled those students inside of my program. It was ideal. It was so amazing. It was so wonderful for me to see how actual and how strong phone calls are. And yes, webinars are great. Launching via email, that's great too. But when you are truly talking to your audience and they get to actually speak to you and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm talking to you. This is wonderful. This is great. I had an 80% close rate with my phone calls. I've never had that high of a percentage ever. So this is why I say, if you're going to launch it, decide whichever way you're going to launch it. But I highly suggest you do phone calls because it's going to help you create the program that you want. This is going to help you connect with your audience even further. And then they'll be more excited to start coaching with you when the time comes when you are going to be starting this program. So we are creating a coaching program that's going to sell. These are some of the ways that I've been able to do it. So with the very first launch of the program, I said I wanted 5 students. Did I get 5 students? No, I got 2. But I still went with these 2 people. And to be honest, I am still friends with these women on Facebook as of today. I still follow them. They still follow me. We had a really good time and it was just 2 people. I wanted more, but I said, you know what? That's okay. Because when I was launching this was around the time when my stepfather had passed away from brain cancer. So I really was not in the mental capacity to have 5 students, but I was like, I want 5, I want 5. But I stuck with those 2. And those 2, we had a wonderful time. We launched, we created programs, we learned every single thing that they needed to do in order to have a successful coaching business. And then I launched it again and I had 5 students that time. That time I had 5 students and we had a ball, we had a blast. And it was just amazing. It was just amazing. Within those 4 months, it was amazing. How many people can you have so that you can give the right amount of energy so that you're not feeling bogged down, you're not feeling burnt out, you're not feeling all of these things? So I would start with 5. 5 max is like the number of students that I would actually like to have. And then for the next launch, we may increase that by 5 more because now I have the income, now I have the actual platforms and things that I need to invest into to actually increase my time so that I'm able to help more students. So that is something that you have to think about as well. So that is how I created one of the programs that I launched and made $10,000. The second program, it was just a YouTube course. I just put it out there via Facebook ads and I just sold it. You know, I just put it out there and I said, okay, here's what's gonna happen. If we make sales, we make sales. If we don't, we don't. And that generated over $16,000 within a 4-month time frame. So those are the 2 things. That is how I did it. And this is how you can create a course that is going to sell all the time. Now, once you do this beta launch, then you can figure out, okay, I want to do this with webinars, I want to do this with challenges. I want to launch so that I can put this on autopilot and it's generating sales for me on a daily basis. So I want to thank you for taking the time for being here. And if you would love to know how to create a YouTube channel that helps generate more leads and more sales for your coaching business, and it also helps increase your influence, authority, and your impact, well, check out the YouTube channel checklist. It should be to the right of this video. You can download that at SymoneRedmond.com/checklist, and it's also inside of the description of this video right below. So I want to thank you for taking the time for watching this video. I hope that you create a coaching program that sells, and I will see you next week on another YouTube video. Take care.